With its sprawling landscapes, deep canyons, and dark skies, Big Bend is sure to leave you awestruck. Get ready because in this video we're going to show you all the highlights Big Bend has to offer and share with you all the tips for your first time visiting this amazing park. Our Big Bend First Timers Guide and first ever travel vlog starts in 3, 2, 1.
It's so weird being able to use my phone and be filming at the same time. Like, I'm still not used to it, but hello everyone and welcome back. We are headed to Big Bend National Park here in Texas. We are so excited. We're staying at the Rio Grande Village Campground tonight, and we're going to be car camping in the Subi. It says we have like, 8.5 hours or so to get there, which is honestly disheartening considering that we also live in Texas. That is how big Texas really is. But let's get this show on the road.
Now that we're on our way, let's go over some basic facts about this beautiful park. Big Bend was established as a national park in 1944. It lies in the southwestern region of Texas with the Rio Grande River running along the border of the park, separating it from Mexico to the south. This expansive park has over 800,000 acres or almost 1,300 square miles to explore inside its borders. Being that it is one of the most isolated areas in Texas and in the United States, Big Bend National Park is one of the least visited parks annually, with only a little over 500,000 visitors in 2021. Just because it is one of the least visited doesn't mean it's not worth the visit, and in fact that makes it even more spectacular. Not only do you run into less people and have more of the trails and sights to yourself, it is also one of the only international dark sky parks in the lower 48 states, meaning the stars shine brighter here than anywhere else in the country, making stargazing one of its biggest attractions.
Good morning, Jamesy.
Oh my god.
For our first night in the park, we stayed at the Rio Grande Village Campground, located obviously near the Rio Grande River in the southeastern section of the park. The Rio Grande Village has 93 sites available by reservation, with paved roads to each site, community restrooms near the center of the campground, and all sites are equipped with charcoal grills. Many people were in their RVs, camper vans, or tents, but we chose to car camp in our Subaru Forester to try out the car mattress I had found at the thrift store.
Hey MTV, welcome to my crib.
Each site is also equipped with bear boxes for your food storage, which is good because as we were finishing packing up the next morning, a coyote ran by our site hoping to score some leftovers. We made it to the park after sunset, so I wasn't able to get much footage. Most of the other campers were already in for the night when we arrived, making the campground super quiet and peaceful while we made our dinner and got ready for a night under the stars. It was so dark at the campsite we didn't realize that we were surrounded by mountains until we woke up the following morning and the sun was coming up over the ridges. We absolutely loved this campground and highly recommend staying here if you decide to visit this wonderful park. Reservations are $16 a night and can be made online, which I will leave a link for you below to check out.
Like I said, we made it pretty late last night, so we are gonna go by the ranger station to see how we can pay since we came in so late. But we are on the road. Look at the sun coming in through the back. I'm so excited.
Because the park is so large and expansive, it is best to divide and conquer the park in sections, which is exactly what we did in order to get as many hikes and sightseeing done as we could in only 2 days. Our campsite was in the southeast area of the park, so we worked our way west throughout the day, starting with Boquillas Canyon. We made it to the trailhead around 8:30 Saturday morning with only one other car in the parking lot.
We have made it to Boquillas Canyon trailhead. First hike in Big Bend.
All right. Yeah.
Let's go.
From there you could see the golden morning sun hitting the canyon walls, and you could hear the sounds of the Rio Grande just a few hundred feet away.
Oh, that sounds so beautiful.
Boquillas Canyon Trail has an elevation change of 150 feet and has a round-trip distance of 1.5 miles, making this amazing trail accessible for most. The trail starts with a small climb up a gravel path and descends shortly after to the Rio Grande riverbed. Then the path becomes flat and easy with magnificent views of the Limestone Canyon on both sides of the river. Boquillas Canyon is a part of the Sierra del Carmen Mountains where the huge limestone walls reach up to 1,500 feet on both sides. Along the river and in other areas of the park, you'll sometimes see items made from the residents of Mexico placed on the trail for you to purchase. While it is prohibited to purchase from the trailside booths, the art is so beautiful and it's definitely hard not to take a souvenir.
I love seeing all this river walk. And bear scat. That's fun.
You'll also see lots of evidence of the wildlife in the area. James and I actually saw bear footprints going up the sandy embankment near the trail on the riverbed, so always be on the lookout. Boquillas Canyon is absolutely stunning. It's hard to capture its beauty and magnitude on camera, but it was so spectacular. Even after visiting and hiking so many other parts of the park during our stay, Boquillas Canyon remained my favorite place in the park. After soaking up the views, we took the short trek back to our car and headed to Old Ore Road for a more off-the-beaten-path trail. Just a few miles west of the Rio Grande Village is Old Ore Road, which takes you to the trailhead of Ernst Tinaja. Chances are you haven't heard of this trail, but it's not one you want to miss on your trip to Big Bend. To visit Ernst Tinaja, you'll need a high-clearance four-wheel drive vehicle.
We are taking the Subaru on our first four-wheel drive off-road road. What would you call it?
A path.
Oh my god, and we literally just entered the road and it's already that bumpy.
We did it in our Subaru Forester, but with its rocky road, the 5-mile stretch took us about 30 minutes to get to the trailhead. On our way to the trailhead, we came across a lonesome gravesite on the side of the road for Juan de Leon. Juan de Leon was found murdered in 1932 at only 26 years old, but what happened to him is unknown. His horse was found later at a nearby store with blood covering the saddle, but unfortunately his body wasn't found until days later. You'll see coins laid on top of the rocks and headstone of his gravesite. We weren't expecting to come across this on our way, but we felt it was only right to stop and pay our respects to Juan de Leon. Just a little further from the gravesite, you'll reach the trailhead for Ernst Tinaja.
We made it 30 minutes later and we're at the Ernst Tinaja trailhead. I still don't know if I'm saying that right, but thank you so much, Lindsay. You did great. You are a badass. Yeah, we definitely need to get some better tires and, like James said, some better suspension so that our Subi can take the roads a little bit better. But we're here and I'm so excited. Again, we are the only ones on the trail right now, so that's freaking awesome. We're scoring today, honestly, James.
Oh, yeah.
But, okay, let's get on the trail.
When we arrived, the only people there was a group of backcountry campers at their campsite near the sandy parking lot. We had the entire place to ourselves as we made our way down the flat half-mile trail to Ernst Tinaja, except for a guy at the top of the mesa overlooking the trail.
Do y'all see that guy up there?
Although the trail is flat along the way, the rocky bottom can make it feel more tiring than a regular dirt path.
This trail's
It's like a fucking basketball court. How smooth this shit is.
Dude, you're so funny. This trail's pretty easy, but the rocks kind of do make it a little bit harder. It feels like you're walking on sand through here.
Yeah.
It's like you're falling in it as you're walking, but it's a very easy trail so far. It is gorgeous out here. You would never expect this where we were just at, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Look at those little jumps out right there. They look like little diving boards.
James and I were amazed at the large, smooth limestone formations along the trail, but it only gets better as you walk deeper into the limestone canyon towards Ernst, Tinaja, when you then see layers of the wavy, colorful rock along both sides. The word Tinaja is Spanish for large earthen jar, which refers to the natural water holes of the canyon caused by erosion over the years. The natural rock pools in between the layers of rock and sides of the canyon are such a magnificent sight and so different from anything else in the area.
We are walking back to our car from the Ernst Tinaja trail. We just met the cutest, sweetest little gentleman, and he showed us the fossils on the trail that we had missed. And actually we had seen them, but I didn't realize that it was a fossil, so that was really cool. And then he told us some other trails to check out and some other fossils that were on the hot springs, so we're probably gonna go do those next and check those out. I just love meeting people on the trails. They're always so sweet. We are back in our car. I'm so glad we left when we did, because the parking lot is full now and everybody was headed into the trail when we were coming out. So that was perfect timing.
Much.
Yeah, we're having our little snack break, lunch break. First we gotta get back down this dang road, so let's do it.
After a quick snack and water break, we made the slow 30-minute drive back to the main road and headed towards one of the most famous attractions in Big Bend and our last hike of the day, Langford Hot Springs. Surrounding the parking lot and the trailhead are the remnants of the old flourishing spa resort built by J.O. Langford. James and I loved reading the history of the resort and going back in time while looking at the remaining structures along the trail. A 1/4 mile hike along the sandy banks of the Rio Grande River will lead you to the foundation remnants of the old bathhouse, which is where the hot springs are located. These hot springs get up to 105 degrees. When we were there, the river was very high from the recent rain, so we were able to sit in the springs and have our hands in the river to cool off. A few people, including James, jumped into the Rio to cool off, although it's not recommended due to the rapid flow in deep waters, and I can tell you that water is freezing cold.
I think that's as far as I'm going in. Oh no. That is too cold for me.
Lucky for us, we were able to get the hot springs all to ourselves for a few minutes, and we enjoyed the sound of the flowing river and let the warm, healing waters relax our bodies after hiking all morning.
Can't believe we got the bathhouse all to ourselves.
For real.
We scored, Jamesy Bear.
Pulled up, there's like 8 people in here. They all got out.
They all left for us. It was great.
We could not believe that we got this place to ourselves for a few minutes, considering it's one of the most visited attractions here at Big Bend, and it was so hard to leave those hot springs, but we know we will come back every time.
Babe, that was definitely so far the best thing we've done. I cannot believe we got the bathhouse, or the hot springs. I keep calling it the bathhouse because that's what it used to be. The hot springs to ourselves for a while, and even with only like one person, that was awesome. And I just love meeting other people. You know,
Yes, ma'am.
I love that we get to do things together that other people have to do solo. You know what I mean? It makes me feel so good. By far, highly recommend that trail. For real. That shit was awesome. Hi. I'm just sitting here outside of our little A-frame here. James is already getting our fire started. And look at our view. We've got a little fire pit here, and this is our A-frame for the next 2 days. Honestly, me and James are freaking zoinked. I've never used that word before in my life. Exhausted from the hiking and everything today, so I think we're just gonna have a chill night at the cabin and rest so that we can get ready for tomorrow. We have a lot more planned tomorrow as well, so we've got to rest up. Good morning. We just got, hold up. Struggling. We just got our coffee fix and we are headed back to the national park. We checked out this far-flung outdoor center and they had a cute little coffee stand outside, and we also got some souvenirs.
Souvenirs and some breakfast. We got some breakfast sandwiches and a muffin, so.
Had to get something warm to warm up my hands. It is so cold this morning.
Temperature on the car saying 40 degrees right
That's
now.
a lie.
Here's your
We have more of the more popular hikes planned today, so we're very excited for those.
Let's get started.
Let's do it.
Our first stop of the day was Santa Elena Canyon, and we took the Maxwell Scenic Drive to get there. This road in the park is named after the first superintendent of Big Bend and is a 30-mile stretch that is known for its beautiful sights along the way to Santa Elena Canyon and many other hikes. We reached Santa Elena Canyon trailhead around 8:45, and at that time the parking lot was still pretty empty. The beginning of the trail is flat with a wooden boardwalk until you reach the sandy banks of the river. The river was quite high, so the normal path was covered in water, making us take a detour around and up a rockier and more difficult path to the main trail.
Grab this rock while you're doing it if you want to bring it down.
Yeah, here I've got it recording too.
Just keep a hand on something, baby. And baby steps. I love you, beautiful. Doing a great job. You're doing a great job. There you go, love.
The trail, however, is not too long, with a distance of about 1.7 miles there and back. Once you reach the main trail after the detour, it gets a lot easier with a concrete ramp and staircase up an incline of about 150 feet. The staircase ends and you get back onto a dirt path along the edge of the canyon until it dead ends at the riverbed. Santa Elena is by far one of the most known and visited attractions in Big Bend, and the canyon makes you feel so small with its walls going as high as 1,500 feet. It is super peaceful with the river flowing and has tons of places to sit along the riverbed. James and I took a snack break and enjoyed the views as we saw someone kayaking down the Rio Grande in between the canyon.
Do you see the kayakers? Look how tiny. I would love to do the kayaking trip though. They do 1 to 3 day kayaking trips down here, and the water's so nice.
I will say though, Boquillas Canyon was my favorite out of the two, and for the amount of work it took to get to the canyon and the amount of people that go, Boquillas is far easier with more reward, and you'll also have better chances of having it to yourself. But nevertheless, Santa Elena was absolutely beautiful and still worth the trek. Once we made it back to the trailhead, we decided to make our way toward the Chisos Basin area of the park to tackle the window trail.
We are on our way to the window trail right now, and I have to say the Chisos Basin area is by far the prettiest area we have been in so far at Big Bend. It is the most vegetative. It has so much greenery, and the rock formations around it is absolutely gorgeous. And this is also the only place in the park that has lodging, so if you want to check that out, definitely do so. It also has another huge campsite other than where we stayed, which was the Rio Grande Village. But we're about to do the window trail, and it is also going to be our hardest trail and longest trail that we've done so far here in Big Bend.
As I mentioned in some of the clips, this part of the park is completely different from the rest of the area. It begins near the Chisos Basin store with a paved walkway where you then start making your way downhill on a dirt path in the basin. The total length of the trail is 5.5 miles round trip with an elevation change of 900 feet. The deeper you get into the basin, the rockier it gets. Towards the end, you reach these rocky steps carved into the canyon, and it was absolutely one of a kind. You'll know when you reach the end of the trail because it stops at the edge of a mountain where the wall split, making a window looking out at the rest of the park.
Oh, there it is.
You would never guess this is where the trail ends while you're hiking, but it is absolutely amazing. We stayed at the window for a few minutes alone when a solo hiker and a couple met us shortly after.
Definitely worth it. Definitely going to be worth the hike back up.
Oh, yeah.
The hike to the window is quite nice, being that it's a gradual decline the entire time. However, the hike back up is not easy. James and I definitely broke a sweat and had to shed some layers coming back up, but it was definitely worth it for those amazing views. The window trail was a fantastic way to end our trip in Big Bend, and we can't wait to do it again. Once we got back in our car, it was time to head back to Terlingua for the night and check out the town. I'm beat after that one.
Rough.
I know, so am I. We just finished the window trail and that was amazing. That was so worth the hike. Definitely the longest one we've done so far, but totally worth it.
So it's 2.5 miles down to the window, but that's like, my watch said I dropped 1,000 foot on the way down.
And
so it's 2.5 miles and 1,000 foot climb back up. So it was a little rough, but it's definitely worth the views.
if you go, definitely check out the window trail. So beautiful. And what we burned, you said you burned 1,600 calories today?
Yeah, so today my watch says I've burned 1,600 calories and like 208 minutes of exercise, and that's just hiking.
I'm so ready to chow down tonight.
Oh yeah.
We are going to head back to Ocotillo at our little A-frame, take a shower, and go hit up the Starlight Theatre for dinner. Literally every single person I've told about that we're going to Big Bend has told us to go to the Starlight. All my friends, all the people that hear we're staying in Terlingua, so we're very excited to go check this place out, and we'll definitely take you guys along, but we stink. We've got to go shower first.
Home sweet home.
Not far from the northwestern entrance of Big Bend and Terlingua, Ocotillos Village has a handful of wooden A-frames aptly named stargazers because they are made with plexiglass roofs and entrances so you can watch Big Bend's beautiful star-filled night sky. Each stargazer is equipped with a queen bed, mini fridge, coffee maker, heat, and AC. While it does come with a bed, electricity, and more, it is still a camp setting and you must bring your linens and anything you need to cook with. However, Ocotillos has a very nice and super clean restrooms which were never cold even in the middle of the night in December. They are shared with the other campers on site, but the privacy is still there for your comfort. They also have indoor and outdoor showers for whatever season you come in, and for the couples, each shower stall has 2 rain shower heads for you to share together, which we definitely did. I can't say enough good things about Ocotillos Village. This is by far the most unique glamping experience you can have in Big Bend or anywhere else. I highly recommend staying here for a romantic camping getaway or a family vacation at Big Bend. It is such a one-of-a-kind experience. After our shower and long hike on the window trail, James and I hit up the Starlight Theatre for dinner, the most popular restaurant in Terlingua. They open at 5, and when we got there was already an hour-long wait, so we grabbed us some margaritas from the bar. Of course, I chose the Cosmic Cowgirl and took a seat inside near the old stage. I must say, I am a foodie, but I'm also super picky, and the food was definitely eclectic. Although I wasn't a huge fan, I absolutely loved the building, the history, and the vibe, and we definitely could have stayed there just for drinks and had a great time enjoying the atmosphere. James and I weren't quite ready to leave when we checked out of our stargazer, so we decided to have a nice breakfast before our long drive back home, and boy did we. Espresso y Poco Mas is a tiny little kitchen next to the Starlight with the best breakfast around. I got the French toast and James had a sausage burrito. It was such a peaceful place and the food was absolutely delicious. We already decided that it's our go-to spot when we go back and stay in Terlingua next time.
So long, Big Bend.
James and I absolutely loved our trip and we're so sad to be leaving Big Bend. There was so much more we wanted to do that we just didn't have time for. 2 days in the park is just not enough time, so if you plan on visiting the area, make sure you stay a while. We will definitely be coming back soon to check out more of Big Bend. At least now we know where to stay, what to do, and where to eat in and outside of the park. We hope you enjoyed our very first travel vlog. Make sure you check out the description box below for links to everything mentioned in the video, and make sure you follow me on here and on Instagram for more Big Bend and travel content. See you next time.